No, you see it.
Hello. This is a prepaid debit call from
Jinx.
an inmate at the Delaware County Jail. To accept this call, press 0. To refuse this call, hang up or press 1. Hello. This is a prepaid debit call from
Jinx.
an inmate at the Delaware County Jail. To accept this call, press 0. To refuse it. This call is from a correction facility and is subject to monitoring and recording. Thank you for using Global Tel-Link.
Yeah, sure.
Jinx, what up? What up?
What's good, bro?
Hey, nothing, chilling, man. I was just playing a little BK music to set the vibe right for you.
That's right. That's right. Got to bring it to the bottom one time, man. Remember that, man? Good introduction, man, of what's going on and who's on. I appreciate the love, bro, man. Yeah. I got 15 minutes on the click. So whenever you're ready to rock.
Yeah, I'm ready right now. So just remind people who you are, where you from, and where you are, and who you are.
All right. Hey, yo, man, it's Jinx The Juvie. For all y'all who don't know who I am, man, I'm a Brooklyn rapper, Brand's deal. You know what I'm saying? I got a deal with Def Jam when I was 15 years old. I came in the game with Coogee Rap. You know what I'm saying? The hip-hop legend. You know, I ran around with G-Rap, battling dudes on the corners in New York City. You know, which led me to ciphers around the Rough Riders. Rough Riders was interested in me. You know, ultimately I signed with Def Jam. They put a little bidding war together, and I signed with Def Jam when I was 16 years old.
All right.
I got records out there. I got records on Cradle to the Grave, you know, the Jet Li and DMX soundtrack. I was on Funk Master Flex Tunnel album with Lady Luck. I did a song with Fabulous, produced by Jeff Blaze. Then on multiple K Slays and DJ Clue tapes, you know, things of that nature.
Right. So now, how long have you been rapping before you got a record deal?
I was rapping since I've been 13, maybe like 12. You know, I'd say 11, 12. You know, I started rapping as a young kid just to express myself. I was going through a lot at the time where I started practicing my craft. I was in the shelter with my mom, actually, when I first started rapping and shit. You know what I'm saying? That's why I got the whole name, Jinx The Juvie.
Right. What you call it? So where you locked up at?
Well, right now, you know, I'm in the feds. I got 25 years. I was sentenced to 300 months on a drug conspiracy. I've been down 7 years now. And, you know, through the grace of God and my due diligence on top of my case, I filed a 2255, which is ineffectiveness of counsel. And the judge granted me a new evidentiary hearing, which I got next week, Wednesday, 10 a.m. and bring it to federal court. You know what I'm saying? So,
Now.
They're out in New York. I mean, it's like a part of New York, you know what I mean? Delaware County, not too far from Binghamton, where the court building I'm going to be at.
Okay. Now, real quick. Now, you just said you were sentenced to 300 months. How you get 25 years?
Well, on a drug conspiracy like the one I was arrested on, for all the drugs inside the 13-man conspiracy, it starts you off at a mandatory minimum of 10, which is, so, you know, just give y'all a little insight of these laws, 280 grams of crack get a person locked into a mandatory minimum of 10 years. So, 13-man conspiracy, it was 280 grams of crack or more. So that locked me into a mandatory minimum of 10 when I pled guilty to all the drugs, which I shouldn't have. And being that I had a prior felony, they could use any felony. Well, they could have used any felony before the First Step Act, which was passed by Trump or whatever. But they used a prior felony, you know what I'm saying, which I got probation for that case, you know what I'm saying? I only been to jail for one prior felony and then used that felony to 851 me. It's a motion called 851 where the district attorney can use your prior felony to double your mandatory minimum. So my 10 turned into 20 for the drugs, and then they gave me 5 years for a firearm because over a wiretap phone, they hear me saying I'm going to bring the grip out for that. But the crazy shit is, though, Joe, my federal sentencing guidelines which is their system, how they use to give you a point system, I'm scheduled to have 7 to 9 years. So according to my federal sentencing guidelines, I should have got 7 to 9 years, but due to these mandatory minimum laws, I got locked into a 25-year sentence.
All right, 25 years. I mean, we see people get 25 years for murder. They give you 25 years for what, drugs?
Yeah. Chuck, man, I was in the county jail fighting my case for 21 months. And I said this on my new record, Wrestling with the Feds, which is out right now. You know what I'm saying? I said, judge hit the gravel. 300 months. How the fuck they give a nigga that for selling drugs? Know some niggas who caught bodies ain't got less than that. Like my little homie dropped and gave him 19 flat. Like I was with my little homies, man, who caught murder charges and was getting 19 and 20 years and all that. But they gave me 25 years, choke, for drugs, man. That's the harsh reality of the penalties in the game we play out there in the streets, man. They give a nigga. Hey, yo, I got 25, but I know people, and I've been around people who got life for this shit. Life for drugs.
That don't make no sense for the drugs they bring into the country.
Absolutely. We don't own no ships. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We ain't bringing that shit in. You know what I mean? And the crazy shit about it is, you know, not to blame the white man, because I definitely ain't on none of that. The choices that we make, we got to accept the responsibility for the outcome. But compared to coke, it's like 100 to 1. You know what I'm saying? A person could get locked up with 5 kilos of coke and get the same amount of time as somebody who gets locked up for 280 grams of crack. And the reason for that is, Choke, is because they know it's more than likely that young black males in America have crack in their hands. And sometimes, it's more than likely that the white man might have powder in his hand. You got lawyers, doctors, and all that who play with their nose and all that. So to keep them out of prison for these long-term sentences, it's a disparity between coke and crack.
Right. Yeah, and the crack gonna go to the black neighborhoods for the most part, even though we know a lot of white people mess with crack too. But for the
Right.
sentences and guidelines is definitely to destroy us. Now let me ask you a question, because I'm sure a lot of people want to know the answer to this. If you had a record deal and you was getting ready to sign the Def Jam, why would you around drugs?
Let's be clear, Chuck. I wasn't about to get signed to Def Jam. I was signed to Def Jam for 2.5 years. You know what I'm saying? What people don't know, like when I quit my case, it's basically where we from, man. Coming up in the streets, we want instant gratification. And I tell this to young artists that be in here rapping, come up to me talking about how they can get in the game, this, that, and the third. You can't walk in 2 different directions at the same time. I knew what I wanted to do and what I wanted to be before I knew who I was. So therefore, when circumstances come where you don't get the instant gratification, we live by that Malcolm X quote, by any means necessary. You feel what I'm saying? So if Russell is not giving me money to promote my record right now, and I'm going to do what I got to do to get this money and put behind my record on my own. And I went out, jumped on my own, and I split my head open. And now I'm away from the dream and thing I love most, which is making music. You know what I mean? Poor decision making. And that can happen to anybody, Chuck. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like your case is similar to Casanova's case. Y'all both were signed, to major labels, but like you said, the label or the company may not be moving as fast as you need them to move, and you got to still be out here surviving. And when you come from the streets, sometimes you might fall back into that lane. And right now we seeing like Casanova, who was signed to Roc Nation, where everybody want to be a Roc Nation. He done made it to the brunch and been around Jay and all of them. He signed to Memphis Bleak, but now he back in jail, my nigga.
Right. And you know what it is? Like right now, I'm working on my book, man, which is gonna be it's titled right now. It's not stamped, but it's called Urban Graduate, man. And it broke my heart, you know what I'm saying? From brother to brother, you know what I'm saying? When I heard that Cass got locked up, it hurt my heart before, when I heard about the 6ix9ine situation before he, did whatever he did or whatever. Just hearing dudes, you know what I'm saying, fall victim like I fell victim, I think it's my duty, you know what I'm saying, as somebody who lived that life and done had to go through the things that I'm going through right now, to share it with the next generation of artists so they don't make the same mistakes. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm about right now. I'm not preaching to nobody. You know, I really shit. I still talk my shit. I still talk my street shit, my hustling shit and all that. But now it's more of a message that, you know, like, yo, if you gonna rap, be a rapper. You can't be a rapper and a gangster at the same time. And I think, you know, most rappers, sometimes coming from where we come from, we get caught up there trying to live out the lyrics that we live in. But the main goal is to make music, get out the hood, and pull our people out of the streets. So to try to do, you know, the things that we're talking about in our music as we going up the ladder is like, it don't make no sense, you know what I'm saying? We were killing ourselves doing that, so I don't promote that. And if there's anybody, any artists out there right now who's listening to this, man, focus on your craft, man. Let the craft get you where you need to be and stay out the streets, man.
Yeah, that's where, and you know, that's my whole thing. You know, I got an album out called Learn from Mistake. And you could preach. It ain't nothing wrong with preaching. You know what I'm saying? I'm preaching. Dudes may not want to hear us preach, but
I'm a poet. You know what I'm saying? I'm a poet, like an analyst from the motherfucking news station, reporting live from the streets, telling you what's going on. I'm gonna tell you what's going on in the streets and what the outcome gonna be from your actions. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna preach to you, but I'm gonna put you up on game and let you know, yo, if you do this, if you do A and B, it's gonna lead to C. Right. You know what I'm saying? And if you want to be in the C position, okay, then do A and B.
Hey, so Jinx, check this out. Check this out, Jinx. I got a real deep, interesting thought, right? I want you to talk to the label owners that sign artists like yourself from the streets, that give up the streets to go to the music industry to do the rap. And now I want you to let them know, like, you know, and I'm not putting no blame on Russell Simmons or nobody, but for all the artists like yourself that you need money and you sign to this label, and when they not moving fast enough for you, you revert back to the streets. What can you say to these CEOs, these label owners, about the artists that they sign? What can they do to make sure they don't have to go back to the streets to risk their career?
Well, speaking to the label owners, I mean, I don't put no blame, like you said, I don't put no blame on the label owners. I'm a man of accepting responsibility for my actions, you know what I'm saying? But if I had to say something to the labels, I would say take a approach or investment in your artist's personal life more than as cattle or product. And I think if they spent more quality time getting to know their artists and you know, their lifestyles and where they come from, and you know, cultivating their thoughts in their mind and taking the time to spend with them, I think it'll help develop the artist outside of being an artist. Because I feel as if they do that, an artist can understand his responsibility, because being an artist comes with a responsibility. You know what I'm saying? And I think if the dialogue between the execs behind the desk was more based on that rather than putting money in our hands so fast and just letting us run wild and then sitting back waiting for a record to blow up, giving us time. So now we got money in the streets, and the things ain't going fast enough, but we out there in the streets, so we run through our little money or whatever the case may be, and living off of show money, and y'all sitting behind the desk with no care in the world, don't understand, don't know what we're going through. Of course we're going to resort back to what we know best to try to, you know, live up to that image or invest in ourselves. So I think if I had to say something to any label owners that's behind the desk, I would say take a more approach to artists' personal right to develop them as a person, to understand that it's a responsibility as an artist. And I think they'll stop losing their money, and we'll start having some artists really stepping up to the plate, not falling victim to the places that we come from.
Right. And what would you say to the artists out here that, you know, as soon as they get a buzz, all the niggas that never been around them start coming around, and they you speak on it, bro. Speak on it.
because I can laugh now looking back. You know what I'm saying? I'm not mad. I went through a phase where I was mad at myself. But that's what it's about, man. You know, when we come from, and we get a little piece of something, you gotta understand. Our whole life, we never thought that we would have this, level of fame and money. So the first thing we want to do is celebrate. You know what I'm saying? And we got in that celebration, we celebrate around everybody. We want to let everybody know, what's going on, man. Look, I got something now. You know what I'm saying? Because we come from nothing. So I think it just, if I had to tell an artist about protecting their circle, I would say, man, I think experience would have to teach that person that. I don't think it's no words that I really can say. You know what I'm saying? That's going to really be heartfelt to an artist. But I would tell you this, though. When the money is gone, or you come behind these walls like how I am right now, or your record flop, or whatever the case may be, dudes ain't going to be there. You know what I'm saying? So, look at people who failed in front of you. Look at the Jinx The Juvies. Look at the Casanovas. Look at the, look at the Max B's and different artists who went through these things and, access or listen to what I'm saying right now, man. Dudes ain't around, you know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah, and Casanova going through that. Casanova going through that right now. He keeps shooting out messages on social media that dudes ain't looking out, dudes ain't visiting. And you and me both know, man, that's part of the game and come with it.
Hey, yo, man, free Casanova, you know what I'm saying? I'm definitely going to say that before I say what I say, but at the end of the day, this ain't Cash first rodeo.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Somebody who hasn't been to prison before, he can stand more on that. Hey, yo, this person ain't doing this person ain't doing that. You know what I'm saying? He ain't ever been here before. But somebody who's been here before, you know the time it is already. You know what I'm saying? And I think for brothers going through the system or going through something in their life in general, you can't point fingers, man. I did that maybe my first 2 years, maybe locked up, but you got to look in that mirror. You know what I'm saying? And that's what's most important to elevate and overcome those failures and shortcomings you came up with.
Right. What would you say to the young dudes that's infatuated with the gang life, especially from New York when that ain't even our culture?
Oh, with the gang life, I mean, like I said, man, I ain't preaching. I'm not a gang member, even though I'm locked up on a Mac Baller conspiracy as we speak right now. And according to the feds right now, I'm a Mac Baller, which I'm not. So let's keep that on the record of the worst as we speak about gangs. You know what I'm saying? But I think where we come from, broken homes, you know what I'm saying, things of that nature, the young generation want to be a part of something. And not to speak for them, but I understand where they're coming from, wanting to be a part of something. You know what I'm saying? Wanting to have a family and people that they think that they can rely on. So I think they more or less, or speaking directly to them, if you're a young gang member out there, you might be going through like a defensive mechanism right now, trying to be a part of something. And at the end of the day, it's all fabricated, man, because, we ain't bringing brothers out the hood or in a positive light. And some crazy about it, behind these gates, Bloods and Crips and all that stick together to combat the oppressors or the white man that's here, the Aryan Nation hoods and stuff like that. So behind the gates, I was able to see gangs come together for.
You have 60 seconds remaining.
And bring brothers up, but I don't think it's nothing in the game. Like, you wind up being on the conspiracy, didn't even do some of the activities that's involved on the indictment and get caught up with the next man who wants to be in jail doing life for some shit they ain't even do just because they were a part of the gang. I don't think that's cool.
Right. Now, and that's messed up that you locked up with some gang members and you're not even a gang member just by just being around people. But yo, you calling back or you got to go?
Yeah, I'm calling out. I just about to tell you that right now. Give me like 1 minute. I'm going to call right back, Joe.
All right, cool. All right, I'm going to wait for you to call back.
Say no more.
All right. Yeah. Jinx The Juvie, he going to call back. So, this is the Learn from Mistakes series where you're going to learn from other